fast-absorbing treatment that combines a patented stabilized retinol technology with hyaluronic acid. So this is maintaining skin's plumpness and helping with moisture levels. Please note our buyers have given us an extra easy pay. Traditionally, we'd have 2. Today, we are offering 3. 431-435. So, Dr. Kirby, is this a quick fix or is this a long-term?
Well, I think that's a great way. That's a great question to ask. When you talk about the aging process, it obviously doesn't take place overnight. It's not like you wake up.
It feels like it sometimes, though, doesn't it?
Usually, you don't wake up one day and say, "Wow, today's the day that I look older." It's a process that takes place over time. The beauty of this product is you get results within as fast as 10 minutes, but those results are cumulative over time.
Nice.
So the longer you use the product, the better results you get.
Okay,
and that's
like
true
that.
of most strong anti-aging regimes.
Okay, so what does wrinkle filler mean?
Well, just as the name suggests here, this is a wrinkle filler. It's used to volumize areas where you're noticing those lines of expression, those creases, those wrinkles. I actually think the name should be wrinkle fighter because that's exactly what it does. And the beauty of this product is that, once again, this is a marriage of 2 ingredients. It's got that core ingredient, that stabilized retinol that if you tuned in earlier, you know I love, dermatologists love it. 2,800 publications claim it as the gold standard of any anti-aging regime. But the beauty of this product is it also contains hyaluronic acid.
Okay.
Now, hyaluronic acid it's a mouthful. I know that's a big phrase there. But what is hyaluronic acid? It's in the news a lot lately because when we use fillers as injections to plump up the face, it's made of hyaluronic acid. And if you go to a dermatologist's office, it's often expensive, it's uncomfortable. It works very, very well.
It's temporary, is it not?
It lasts a number of months, but
okay.
Yeah, it's temporary. But hyaluronic acid is that key ingredient that really plumps up that look of the skin. Now, hyaluronic acid is a naturally occurring substance. It's in all of our bodies. It's a sugar molecule. Works phenomenal in the way that it is designed, because it holds up to 1,000 times its weight in water. Now, the beauty of this product is it has that stabilized retinol technology in partnership with that hyaluronic acid. And if I could make a little bit of analogy here, what I want to do, I have a glass, just a vase here that has water in it. And what I want you to imagine is that this glass vase, that's naturally occurring moisture in your skin. And then this is just a hard sponge, and I want you to think of this as a visualization process. This is, you can imagine it as hyaluronic acid. And what happens, hyaluronic acid holds up to 1,000 times its weight in water. So when you put the hyaluronic acid in conjunction with the moisture that's naturally occurring in your skin, it plumps up very, very, very nicely. In a very short period of time, it really holds that water, sucks it in. You can think of it as micro sponge technology, and it really plumps up those looks of those fine lines and wrinkles. This is a targeted product. You really target it to those fine lines, those deeper wrinkles that you notice all over the face. Okay,
so this is kind of like a weapon then, because you can...
I called it a wrinkle fighter. That's absolutely what it is. It's a product that's really revolutionizing in any anti-aging regime.
And it's 29 ml. That's how much you're receiving. It's a twist-off cap. You've said since the beginning of this presentation several times, a little goes a long way with
Absolutely. This should last you 60 to 90 days if you're using the appropriate amount.
Okay.
And that really depends on how many wrinkles you have.
Okay.
There's a number of areas that we concern ourselves with wrinkles.
So where would you suggest? Like the marionette lines?
Well, the marionette lines, by definition, is bottom of the lip to the bottom of the chin. Those are marionette lines. Then that's one area where people often need it. The next area, the most common area people need it, is the nasal labial lines, from the edge of the nose to the corner of the lip.
Right, okay.
There's 2 other areas that we prominently recommend this. One is in between the brow. We call those the 11s, or the 111, depending if you have those creases there, the anger, the frown lines.
Yes.
And then the last place that I really emphasize people should focus on is the horizontal lines that run across the forehead.
Yes.
So those 4 areas, those are the major areas where, and once again, this is a targeted regime. You target it on those deeper wrinkles, and it's a wrinkle fighter, a wrinkle filler.
Okay, fantastic. So when you say target, you apply them directly to the areas where you're having issues.
Absolutely.
What about, okay, Dr. Kirby, a lot of us have the eye, pronounced eye lines. Can I do something about that?
Well, when we talk specifically about crow's feet, that's where I really like people using the eye cream, because it's specially formulated for that sensitive skin all around those eyes and those 6 signs of aging. This is another product, and you can absolutely use it with the eye cream, but this is targeted for those deeper lines. It's actually, that hyaluronic acid does a much better job with the deeper lines. Nasal labial lines, marionette lines, the forehead lines, and the 11s in between the brow. And just a tiny little bit, that is enough to do all those line areas.
So what I just put on my hand, which is not a lot, I could do around the
100%. And the
Okay.
beauty of this product is in as fast as 10 minutes, people start to notice that result. Kind of like my sponge analogy here. Very, very quickly, you start to notice that it plumps up that area, and it diminishes the look of those deeper wrinkles right away.
Well, I think it's exciting to have, and you talked about education right from the start, even behind the camera. That was one of the first things you mentioned to me, which I love. I think it's important to have options in life, and I know that there's a lot of injections that are very popular, and you know, everybody, you choose what's right for you. But this is like having that, isn't it, as you were saying?
It's got that same core ingredient, that hyaluronic acid. So I tell people, you know, what one person's anti-aging regime is very different from another person's anti-aging regime. The reason being, not everyone ages the same way.
Right.
Now, the eye is still going to be the first area to age, but sometimes people show wrinkles in one area and not others.
And not others.
Some people need it just on the forehead. Some people need it just in between the brows. Some people need it in all 4 major wrinkle areas.
Is it true that we age faster on one side of our face than the other?
Well, we start to notice the signs of aging on one side more than the other, and one of the reasons is because the cumulative sun damage you get over time from driving,
yes.
And then also people who typically, when they sleep on one side, they start to notice deeper wrinkles on that side. Most people do have some naturally occurring asymmetry to their face no matter what, but it's augmented or emphasized by that sun damage and the improper sleeping habits.
Okay, well, fantastic. Here's another great product to take a look at from Neutrogena Dermatologics. Just a reminder, everyone, I think we all know the name Neutrogena. It's a great brand name, and they offer terrific products. But this is it's like their professional line.
Absolutely.
Cutting-edge ingredients, stabilized retinols. So can you talk to, you mentioned the hyaluronic acid within this. Is there anything else, or is that the focus?
Well, it's the hyaluronic acid plus that stabilized retinol technology. So once again, you get that increase in surface cell turnover that offers you that improvement in luminosity, that softness, that smoothness, and that's from that stabilized retinol technology. But the true plumping with those deeper wrinkles is from the hyaluronic acid.
Okay.
Once again, the two products are married together to make a targeted regime. This is specifically targeted for those deeper wrinkles on the face.
Okay. Do I feel anything when I put this on my face?
Right when you put it on, you'll notice like it's luxuriously soft. It almost has like almost like a bounce to it, if you can describe it as that. And right away, you'll notice maybe a little bit of tingling, but it's really that bounce, that softness, that viscosity. Keep in mind, hyaluronic acid holds 1,000 times its weight in water. It's an incredibly impressive statistic. It really plumps up, soaks in that moisture, and really diminishes the look of those deeper wrinkles.
Okay, so who would you say should be looking at the wrinkle filler?
Anyone who is concerned about the aging process on the deeper wrinkles of their face.
Okay.
If you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, you know what, I have this concern, the softness or the luminosity or the different, if you're saying to yourself it's the deeper wrinkles, that's when I tell people you need the wrinkle filler. I call it the wrinkle fighter, but it's those deeper wrinkles that really set off a little alarm in my head that say this is what this person should get.
Need. Okay, and Dr. Kirby, a lot of us wear cosmetics. A lot of us wear sunblock. How do I incorporate this with my day-to-day routine of what I use beauty-wise?
Well, let me preface this by saying I love the use of sunscreen. It's imperative people use sunscreen, so I'm a huge proponent of sunscreens. Because this is an actual treatment, it's not a makeup, it's not a cover-up, it's an actual treatment, I like this to come in contact with your skin first.
So
this
when
should
it's
be
clean.
When it's clean. On a clean, dry face, this is when you apply this product. Let it soak in for a few minutes, and then you can put your sunscreen right on top, and then you can put your makeup right on top of that.
Okay, fantastic. So once again, everyone, this is the wrinkle filler from Neutrogena Dermatologics. It's the Retinol NX wrinkle filler. Interesting to hear, and the analogy with the sponge. If you feel like you've just lost that volume, and I remember the first time I kind